I'm K. Subbulakshmi, working as an assistant professor, Department of PCE, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. I'm going to handle the course Microwave Theory and Techniques. So in this video, I'm going to discuss about microwave measurements and systems. So under microwave measurements, we are going to discuss about two types of systems. One is spectrum analyzer and network analyzer. First, we will discuss about spectrum analyzer. So spectrum analyzer is an instrument which is used for analyzing frequency spectrum of the input signal. So this spectrum analyzer uses frequency domain representation of RF signals. So in order to show the relative amplitude of signal at various frequencies within a particular range. So this spectrum analyzer is used to analyze the frequency domain representation of the RF signal. So x-axis will be frequencies and y-axis will be amplitude. So a signal which shows the plot where vertical axis represents the amplitude and horizontal axis represents the frequency is known as frequency domain representation. So in this video, we are going to discuss about what is meant by spectrum analyzer, the need for spectrum analyzer, block diagram, working and applications. So we have used oscilloscope in our laboratory. So that oscilloscope is used to display waveform as its in output when an input signal is provided. But this oscilloscope is used for time domain analysis of signals. So it shows the signal in time domain representation. That is, y-axis, vertical axis represents amplitude and horizontal axis represents the time. So the main difference between oscilloscope and the spectrum analyzer is that, so oscilloscope represents time domain of the input signal, but the spectrum analyzer is used to show the frequency domain representation of the RF signal. So next we are going to discuss about the block diagram of spectrum analyzer. So this is the block diagram of spectrum analyzer. So this in the spectrum analyzer, most commonly used spectrum analyzer is the swept tuned receiver. So it is one of the most used frequency measurement tools. So this swept tuned receiver or this type of analyzer undergoes sweeping across the frequency range. Thereby, it displays the present frequency components in the particular signal. So it allows measurement of large frequency range. So we can use this spectrum analyzer for various applications. So next, for example, if we take an input signal of 2 megahertz, so the analyzer, that is spectrum analyzer, sweeps across the complete 2 megahertz frequency band in order to have the complete frequency domain analysis. So this is the block diagram. The main blocks are RF input attenuator, low pass filter, mixer, then IF, intermediate frequency gain. So IF filter, logarithmic amplifier, envelope detector, video filter, display, sweep generator, local oscillator and reference oscillator. So we will discuss about each and every block now. So first is the RF input attenuator. So this RF input attenuator is used to provide optimum level signal as the input to the system. So when when the high broadband signals are applied to the system, then there is a chance for overloading or gain compression or distortion. So in order to provide a signal with appropriate level, this RF attenuator is used. So this attenuator, what it does, it automatically set based on the reference level. Also, we can manually change the reference level. So this RF attenuator, we can say it acts as a protective circuit of the system. Next is the low pass filter. We all know that low pass filter will block the high frequency component and allows only the low frequency component. But so here when we in this spectrum analyzer, this low pass filter is used, so which restrict the system to give unwanted response. So mixer, so here mixer, 3 ports of the mixer. So this mixer act as a frequency translator. So frequency translator means converts one form of frequency into another. So the whatever the applied input signal and the signal from the local oscillator. So we can see the diagram. So signal from the local oscillator and the signal from the low pass filter are the two inputs to the mixer, and the output is the intermediate frequency. So the mixer generates the output, and the output frequencies of the mixer are two applied input frequencies as well as the sum and the difference of the two input frequencies. So whatever the output of the mixer is the sum and difference of difference frequencies of two input frequencies. So this difference between the two frequencies is called as intermediate frequency, so which is used by the analyzer. Next is intermediate frequency gain. This is a variable gain amplifier. So the output of the mixer is applied to the IF intermediate frequency gain. This intermediate frequency gain is used for the adjustment of vertical position of the signal without altering the signal level at the of the mixer input. So whatever the mixer gets its input without altering the signal level, it is this IF gain will only adjust the vertical portion of the signal. So this is designed in coupling with the input attenuator in order to avoid variation in the reference signal level with the change in the applied input. Next is the IF filter. So IF filter is a band pass filter that is centered at the intermediate frequency. So this IF filter is used to pass only the desired frequency component. So the bandwidth of this intermediate frequency filter is referred to as resolution bandwidth of the spectrum analyzer. Next is the detector. Basically, analyzer uses detector so that the IF signal from the IF filter gets converted into the baseband or video signal. So this video signal is digitized using the analog to digital converter. So and then it is displayed on the y-axis of the display. Next is the video filter. This video filter acts as an intermediary between the detector and the ADC. This video filter is a low pass filter. So this video filter is used to smoothen the traces which are displayed on the screen. Next is the local oscillator. So this local oscillator is used to tune the analyzer. This local oscillator is a voltage control oscillator. So the local oscillator is tuned by sweep generator. So the frequency varies according to the ramp signal voltage. So the relationship between the input signal and the local oscillator is known. So it permits the calibration of x-axis in terms of frequency. This leads to creating the frequency domain on the horizontal axis. So whatever the signal to be analyzed is provided to the RF attenuator, so which sends the optimum signal to the mixer. Then the mixer combines the input signal and the signal received from the local oscillator in order to generate a signal of intermediate frequency. The signal is then provided to the IF filter. This IF filter, what it does, so the IF filter whose output is provided to the detector. So in order to detect the signal at the tuned frequency, so the voltage at the output of the detector shows the amplitude of the signal and it drives the y-axis of the plot to be displayed. So the synchronization between the sweep generator and the local oscillator provides the frequency response. So this leads to producing amplitude versus frequency plot at the LCD display of the analyzer. So this is the working of the spectrum analyzer. Next is application of the spectrum analyzer. So the swept receiver type of spectrum analyzer is finds its application in telecommunication equipment, mobile communication system, broadcasting equipment. Also, these spectrum analyzers are used in microwave communication links, radar and cable TV systems. Next, we will discuss about the network analyzer. So this network analyzer or test instrument which is used in the RF and microwave industry in order to test the components or devices. So this network analyzes their measurement capabilities allows them to characterize a wide range of devices, components and systems. So components in the sense, components are both passive and active. So this network analyzer is used for measuring amplifiers, filters, attenuators, switches and many others. So this network analyzers find its during manufacturing, production and testing, this network analyzers are used in order to test the component or devices. So network analyzers are used for research and development purpose. They can be used to measure the engineering prototypes, thus allowing engineers to optimize performance characteristics like flatness and return loss. So this network analyzer, it will measure and display a device under test. It measures the magnitude and phase information across the frequency range. So a network analyzer characterizes a device under test. DUT means device under test in terms of scattering parameter, which is otherwise called as S parameters. So this using S parameters, we can characterize performance at RF and microwave frequencies in terms of incident and reflected waves. So S parameters are vector quantities. So we know what is meant by vector quantity, a quantity which has both magnitude and phase information. So this scale, there are two types of network analyzer. One is scalar network analyzer and vector network analyzer. Scalar network analyzer can measure only the magnitude, but vector network analyzer can measure both the magnitude and phase of the signal. So for example, if we take a two-port network, then it has four S parameters, that is S11, S12, S21 and S22. In this, S11 and S22 are reflection coefficients and S12 and S21 are transmission coefficient. So this is called as S parameter matrix of the two-port network. So this S parameters contain both magnitude and phase information. Here the magnitude is expressed in decibel. So this is mathematically defined as S11 is equal to 20 log 10 mod of S11. So this is all the reflection coefficient and transmission coefficients are represented in decibels. So the decibel representation of S11 and S22, which is called as reflection coefficient, these are known as return loss. If it is expressed in dB, it is called as return loss, which is the difference in dB between the reflected signal and the incident signal. So a return loss of minus 15 dB means that the reflected signal is minus 15 dB lower in magnitude than the incident signal. Always this return loss is expressed as a positive value. So a return loss of minus 15 dB is expressed as 15 plus 15 dB. And the magnitude of S21 is known as gain or insertion loss. Whether it depends on whether the device under test is active or passive. For example, if it is active, such as amplifier, it will have high gain because it increases the magnitude of the signal. A passive component like filter, it does not have gain. So the output signal is smaller in magnitude than the input signal. So S21 is referred to as insertion loss. S12 defines the transmission in the reverse direction. So this is So it is known as reverse gain or reverse transmission. So when an incident signal is applied to a device under test, we know that a portion of the signal will be transmitted and the remaining, so the transmitted signal differs not only in magnitude of the incident signal but also in phase. So this S21 and S12 describes the phase difference in degrees between the transmitted signal and the incident signal. Next, we will discuss what is meant by group delay. So group delay is the transit time of the signal as it passes through the device under test. So group delay is defined as the negative of the derivative of phase response with respect to frequency. So a flat group delay means phase response is linear. So network analyzers are commonly used to measure group delay of components such as filters. So this is the network with N ports. So a two-port model which represents a component with two ports. So it is an N-port network. So it has N ports, port 1, port 2 to port N. This is the device under test. So the device under test will be a power divider or some other component with multiple ports. So if we write S parameter for this network, then B matrix B2 Bn, which is equal to S11 to S1n up to Sn1 to Snn, A1 matrix A1 to An. So this is the S matrix of the N port network. So next we will see how this network analyzer works. So we will use network analyzer in order to measure the S parameter. So this network analyzer is classified as two types. One is vector network analyzer and scalar network analyzer. This vector network analyzer is short form, we will call it as VNA, and scalar network analyzer in short form we will call it as SNA. This SNA is can only measure the magnitude. So this SNA, using SNA, we cannot perform phase measurement. So SNA performs transmission measurements by means of photodiode detector, which converts RF signal to DC voltage. And this DC voltage is proportional to the magnitude of the RF signal. And using this scalar network analyzer, we can't measure the phase of the signal. So vector network analyzer are powerful than SNA because this vector network analyzer can be used for measuring both magnitude and phase. So this is the vector network analyzer with the two-port component. This is the device under test, which is the input is connected to the end of the cable, which is attached to port 1 of the VNA, and the device under test, which is output, is connected to the end of the cable that is attached to port 2 of the vector network analyzer. So this vector network analyzer is used to measure two-port component. It may be a filter or an amplifier. So this vector network analyzer contains RF source. This RF source generates signals, which generates signals over the frequency range of interest. These signals exit through port 1 and are applied to the device under test. So when a signal at any frequency is applied to device under test, a portion of the signal will be transmitted through the device under test to port 2 of the VNA. Some another portion is reflected back to the port 1. So to measure S22 or S12, VNA generates signal that exits through port 2 and are applied to the device under test. So a portion of the signal at any frequencies applied to device under test now transmits through the device under test to port 1 of the VNA. So another portion is reflected back to port 2. So user can see only S12 or S22 measurements on the display. So this is the general block diagram of vector network analyzer with two test ports. So the signal generated by VNA's RF source enter a switch which routes the signal towards either port 1 or port 2. So the signal that passes through the directional device R1 then passes through the another directional device So that is directional device M1 before arriving the device under test. So when the signal does arrive at the device under test, a portion is reflected back to port 1 of VNA and re-enters directional device M1. This device now directs a portion of reflected signal to the measurement receiver. So this signal is down converted and processed. So the VNA can then compare the data obtained from the measurement receiver 1 with the data obtained from the reference receiver 1. So S11 is measured. Next, we will see how to measure S21. So the signal which is applied to a device under test results in the transmitted signal which exits the DUT and enters into the port 2 of VNA. This transmitted signal enters another directional device, that is M2. So this device directs a portion of the signal to another measurement receiver, that is measurement receiver 2. So this signal is down converted and processed. So VNA will compare the data obtained from the measurement receiver 2 with the data obtained from the reference receiver 1. So in this way, S21 is measured. To measure S22 or S12, switch would be route the signal to port 2. So the signal first enters into the directional device R2, which directs a portion of the signal to reference receiver 2. After entering the reference receiver, the signal is down converted and processed. The signal that passes through the directional device R2 then passes through the directional device M2 on its way towards the DUT. After arriving at the DUT, a portion of the signal is reflected back to port 2 of the VNA and re-enters directional device M2. So a portion of this reflected signal is directed to the measurement receiver 2. So then the signal is down converted and processed. So the data obtained from the measurement receiver 2 will be compared with the data from the reference receiver 2. So in this way, S22 is measured. So next, how to measure S12? So the signal which is transmitted through device under test enters into port 1. So this transmitted signal enters into directional device M1, which directs a portion of the signal to measurement receiver 1. The signal is down converted and processed. The data obtained from the measurement receiver will be compared with the data obtained from the reference receiver. So in this way, S12 is measured. So next we will discuss about the network analyzer specifications. These are the 4 important network analyzer specifications. So first is frequency range. So this frequency range is the main specification. A network analyzes frequency ranges which defines the minimum and maximum frequencies it can measure. Next is the dynamic range. This defines the range of the power that the network analyzer can measure. Next is the number of test ports. A network analyzer can have 2, 4 or more test ports. Next, last is the measurement speed. So this is the time required to perform measurements across a range of frequencies. So in this video, we discussed about spectrum analyzer and network analyzer. So we have discussed about a block diagram of spectrum analyzer and explanation of each block. Then we discussed about network analyzer, block diagram of network analyzer, and how to measure the S parameters using network analyzer, that is S11, S22, S12 and S21 using network analyzer. So last we have discussed about the network analyzer specifications. Thank you.